Gonna have a look at another one of my like old school builds. Is something I did a very long time ago. This is the AC-47 spooky gunship, or what mine is Puff the Magic Dragon. And this was the Monogram C-47 kit. This is not the actual release that Monogram did of the actual AC-47. Like, I did this about, I would say, 2 years, maybe even a little bit more than 2 years. Maybe it was like maybe 3 years before the actual Monogram release of the AC-47 came out, which is like a very sought after, expensive kit. Like, if you could possibly find it now. Like, I did have it, but I had already scratch built this one, all the little it wasn't much work to do it, all the little pieces to make it into the gunship. And I'll go over what I actually did to it. Like, first off, I did the actual Southeast Asian camouflage scheme to it, and I actually hand painted the puff on the nose art. That was actually hand painted, and it also required a couple other things like these aerials under the nose and this one up here, which are just metal aerials that I added to it. There's also a sight, which I'm not sure if it will show up, but right here where the I believe the pilot sits on this side, and there's a little sight here for him to do like the little like cone hovering that they do. It's actually a sight on there. I also added inside of the windows, like they look blocked out like that. I'm not sure what I actually used. I thought that I used paper towel, like kitchen towel, to replicate the like they had this Kevlar lining inside of the hull, and it was basically like an off-white, almost like yellowish color, and so I just put that inside it and taped it in there. The guns were here, let me move it around a little bit so we can see the gun mount inside. The guns actually came from an MPC. I'm not sure if it was the Puff release or if it was a spooky gunship, but it's advertised as being in 1/72 scale, and I'm not even sure if the kit is actually 1/72 scale. I know it was re-released several times. I think it was originally an Airfix release, and it made its way down, and it's sort of, I do believe it's actually an off-scale kit, but regardless, the miniguns that came in it were massively oversized, even for a 72 scale kit, because they're like 7.62 miniguns, and I found that they actually are like nearly perfect for 1/48 scale. That's what they actually are, and so I took them directly from the 72nd and put them into the 48 scale kit, and they work just perfectly. I didn't have to do anything to them, and they already had their little like the mounts for the AC-47 and everything, so that's basically what I did there. And then I also you can see here, I also printed the actual tail codes for Puff, like I did the decals myself, and it's actually the serial code to match the actual real aircraft. There's really nothing on the bottom of the kit. I just basically painted it black on the bottom. There's nothing special to it. And I added the True Details resin wheels, which I pretty much, if I can find a set for an aircraft, I always add them, especially at that time, because now they're a heck of a lot harder to get than when this kit was out. They were quite common. And I will just give sort of a closer look here of the aircraft itself, so you can see the nose art here with Puff on there. Like I said, it was hand painted on there, because there was no decals or anything out at this time when I did this. Like, it sort of dates it if you figure. I'm not sure the time when the actual release came out, but it was a few years before that, so that's how we can kind of date it. The glass isn't really a great fit in there. If I was gonna redo this, I would probably work on that glass a lot more than what I did. We can see the engines and everything here, and the camouflage in our windows. And And again, the tail codes that I made, I left the, there's a string on it because it's actually hanging up on my ceiling, and I don't want to remove the string because then I'll have to restring it, and it's already in pretty much the perfect place. So we can see the miniguns in their mount there. You can see how well they like correspond to a 48 scale. They really are not 72nd scale. You can see some of the details there on the tail. And I'll just spin it around here. And so, like, I just wanted to show my build here, which again, it's not an official release or anything, but there isn't a whole heck of a lot you have to do to a C-47 to make it into a puff. And so yeah, this is my like home built C4 or AC-47 148 scale Puff the Magic Dragon. Thank you for watching.